What's up, everybody? You get a two for tonight. This is your girl, Ericka Williams from the Classic Client Blog. I'm a six-figure YouTuber. That means multiple years, not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 years in a row. I've made high six figures off YouTube from various courses, consulting, sales, business partnerships, real estate partnerships, trucking partnerships, and I've also lost big money. So always with a caveat, always with a prescription. And this is one of those. I'll pull my teeth out if I didn't have to do it, but I am going to do it. Tone Talks. This is someone who I have not always agreed with, and I'm making that disclaimer. I am not a black pill or defeatist mentality when it comes to people in America. I'm very much optimist, and I'm very much I think a lot of people lack exposure to numbers and data, and this is why you have the explosion of Kevin Samuels' channel. Plus his hard work. Kevin Samuels works his ass off. But a lot of people just don't know math. I get on the phone. I've had over 6,000 paid phone consultations in my 6 years here on YouTube, and I can tell you firsthand, many people have no clue how much money other people make, one. And two, they don't even do the math on well, if I just make double what I make, even better, right? 9 times out of 10, I get on the phone with somebody, they go, oh, Ericka, how fast can I make 10 to 20K a month, and I need 100K a year to retire? Well, the first thing out my mouth is, well, how much do you make a month now? 9 times out of 9 times out of 10, they make 3K a month, sometimes 4K. And there's this imaginary number that if they make 6 figures, all their life's problems will go away. So, welcome to the show. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We may not, I don't think I'm going to be able to play it because of YouTube and whatnot, but I'm gonna try to just, go check this out, this right here, this video on your free time, okay? Long story short is he basically, talked about marrying down cost educational women 25K a year. Now, first things first, this is an article from The Atlantic. It's over 5 years old. It's not very accurate. I'm not even going to play the sound because I know y'all can't hear it. So now, even in this time frame, we've had the pandemic, correct? And the wealth has gone to the richer, right? Let's just go ahead and say that. White wealth is 20 times that of Black and Hispanics, and it just kind of zoomed during the pandemic. Now, there's been one bright side. 2019, if you go look at Donald Trump's report, we had a 10% pop up in African American community income and growth. You had 8% in Hispanic and a 20% Asian. I mean, it was crazy. So a lot of what I want people to focus on is most people don't know real numbers. And that's just where we're going to go with it here. I'm going to start it from that perspective. Most people don't know real numbers. They don't know that, truthfully, what we get wrong about closing the racial wealth gap is ownership. You don't own no insurance. You don't own no house. You don't own a business. There isn't many avenues for you to move your leg up in society if you do not own these items. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share with you, let me go to CDC numbers, which, again, I'm just using this. Again, the show may not be for everybody, and that's okay. I just want to say, because it's rare that I agree, and you guys send me from all over the internet people's videos that I don't agree with. I don't know why y'all keep doing that, but y'all do it. And so this is the one time I truly, honestly agree with Tone Talks. Right? So if there's a woman, we're going to go there, that's been single 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, it's not because there's a lack of men available. She just does not like her choices. You know what I mean? And that's not even saying height, weight, she got kids, she got debt. That's just the truth of it, right? Because we see average everyday people get together and get married of other races every day. So again, these are these numbers. I'm not going to beat them up. I'm going to go over here to economics and employment. Okay, and we're gonna keep it easy. But when I said on this channel that only 2.9% of Black people have over 100K a year income. Folks got salty with me in the comments and said that doesn't matter. Income doesn't matter. It's what people wish, whatever job people want to do, Ericka. And I ain't got time to fight with you. I ain't got time to fight with you because I know some of y'all are in delusional that money solves your problems, but money does solve many of problems. And and I know people hate hearing that, but they got to hear it. Okay, so here is some numbers, and I know people don't want to hear this. Now, why am I talking about? The title of this show is "Men Are Going Back to Trades." What's going to happen in a space of time is the margins for administrative work are going to be really thin. Even the margins right now, when you hear a lot of young men go, "Oh, I have some Airbnb, I have some Torino app." Even the young man that's on Todd Millie's podcast that was just interviewed, he's 19. He has 3 Airbnbs, but ultimately at the end of the year, they netted him out $36,000 a year. That just replaced him a job. That's it, right? He's managing those. Now he could go get more. He could do other things, but I would just tell you right now, if I had 3 Airbnbs and they were paying me $36K a year, that's $3K a month at 19 years old. That's a lot of money. He may just sit there for the next 2-3 years. We don't know. But here is this, and take it with a grain of salt. Again, these numbers are always flexible and moving. Okay? So all of the United States. Now the Air Force, just so you guys know this, the Armed Air Services is less than 1% of the whole United States policy. Like there's like 0.5 are active duty folks in America at any given time. We have a very small army. Like people think, oh, we spend all this money on defense. No, we spend money on the things surrounding defense, but not the actual people. So that's why you see the green line is almost invisible. It's a 1%, right? And that's for white or black or all of Americans, right? Employed. Now we've already talked about this, but I'm gonna bring it back up again. Chicago. What is up with Chicago? Chicago has 50% of all the Black men in Chicago are unemployed. Now you may say, well, Ericka, that they could be lying on paperwork to get the STEMI check. They could be lying on paperwork for the PPP. They could be lying on paperwork for something else. I don't care the reason that they're lying. I don't care. You could tell me whatever. 50% of Black men in Chicago are unemployed. That is a problem. That leads to other problems. Being able to afford a property in Chicago. Being able to get a good apartment in Chicago. Being able to move around and be flexible. Every day I meet people who have fled, and I use the word correctly. And there's a video, you guys know I'm hated on one of my videos. I'm going to show it up here real quick. I'm hated on this one video because I said people are fleeing to Texas and Atlanta, Georgia. And I meant that. Because when you really talk to 9 times out of 10, to people that you meet moved here, oh, I just had to get out of Atlanta. I had to get out of Chicago. I had to get out of Illinois. I had to get out of this place. It's never this, I desired to move. It was time to move. It's like, oh my God, the taxes, everything. I had to get out of there. It was so terrible, right? And so I made this video. It's got thousands of comments. They're all hate mail. I had to delete a lot of them. I didn't care. Because what I said is true, and it's even more true today. So here's the video. If you ever want to see this video, laugh, giggles, wherever you want to see it, or this is the video. And essentially, I'm like at my mom's house with like shades on in the backyard talking smack, right? And I look ridiculous, but I love it. So this video is about from March 2016, and it's still true to this day. It's got 77,000 views. Blacks fleeing to Atlanta and Texas, and I've got 851 comments. Most of them hate me because it's the truth. Everything I say in that video is true. The high income, the high stuff. This is before it became cool to move in the pandemic. Okay, the people were like, oh, I gotta get out of here. New York, the prices. I'm about to be homeless. Right? You got people from California moving to Danville, Virginia, in the middle of nowhere places going, ooh, thank God I moved here for $400 a month rent. I was about to be homeless in California, right? So we already know that the numbers is dire out here, right? It's bad out here. There's 76% of all working Americans, which we have 330 million working Americans, but we have 150 million Americans working. Out of that number, 76% make $35,500 or less. And then there was a one study I had to find. If I can't find it, I won't quote it. But essentially, it was like 41% of all black men make less than like 30K a year, right? And so that's a big number. But unless I can go find that data again, I won't keep quoting it. But I'm just going to show you again. Women, 70% of black women are working, 5% unemployed, 25% are not in the labor force. That could be anything. It could be older, it could got kids at house, whatever. Right? For other women, it's similar numbers. The unemployed part means they applying for unemployment, right? You have more, and this is something everybody hates me, but I'm gonna say it. There are millions more single white mothers than there are black women even in America. So let's say we believe these numbers that there's only 49 million black Americans. Half of them are women, half are men. There's 25 million black women, right? There's only 2 million black babies born a year. So let's do that math. There's only 2 million born a year. So you know these numbers, I always believe they got a little bit of sauce to them. But anyway, out of those numbers, for the society to have 10, 12 million white single moms, so how many kids do those white single moms even have? They could all have two. They could all have 2 kids apiece. 10 million white women times 2, that's 20 million kids. So when people see me go, these black women, these kids, I'm like, y'all not even doing good math. You're not even doing honest math about how many people live out here that are single moms, right? And even the data showing you that the newest kind of, let's just go there, batch of single mothers are people 39 to 42 years old. I know we love joking about these old eggs, but guess what? Them old eggs is having babies. These geriatric pregnancies is popping out the yang. Okay, so let's go on down. That's employment. Let's really go on down here. Let's get really into the numbers. African American occupations, right? Management, business, art, sciences, okay? Service occupations, 25%. 1 in 4 of our people are working in service. 1 in 4 are working in sales and offices. 5% work in construction and maintenance. That's not enough. 16% work in production, transportation and material moving, trash man, janitors, truckers. Come on now. That's 16 years old or older. Now let's go on down to the men. Let's really get into it. Black men are 10% of black men at work. 16 years or older are in construction, maintenance, natural resources. 24% are in offices, 22% in service, 18% in sales. Where do you make a bulk of your money? Antoine Wade, we had him in here, tech sales. How is he making $500,000 a year? Tech sales, right? People ask where the money at. I'm telling you where the money at. I used to say her old egg split. She had 2 at the same time. Listen, I'm not even being funny. I'm being serious. You can actually go on YouTube and just type in, I had a baby at 45. You'll get a bunch of channels. I had a baby at 40. You'll get a bunch of channels. It's for real out here. So I just want to kind of like look at what industries they're in and what you're going to get out of it. Okay? If only 10% of men are in construction and maintenance, but the average society has 16% men, okay, there's more men of the others in those occupations. Now let's go on to women. Okay? It is percentage versus count. Yes. We talk about things. Anyway, women civilian population. Management, 35%. Business, science, and arts, though. Aaron Cleary will get on you about the arts. Service, 27%. Sales, 30% of women are in sales or office occupations. What just took a hit? People in sales and people in offices. Why? Because they were going home for the pandemic. Only 1% of black women are in natural resources, construction, or maintenance occupations. Only 8% of us are in production, transportation, and material moving. And this is 2017 numbers. This ain't 2020, and this ain't 2021. So we're already going off data that's old, and that gets on my nerves on a couple people's channels. No disrespect, but they be giving y'all some old data, and it drives me crazy. Okay? Going down. Now look, they hit it in the numbers. I'm gonna give y'all the numbers. Okay? Out of 8 million men and 9.7 million women. In management, 500,000 men, 600,000 women. In business financial operations, 230,000 men, 474,000 women. So we're doubling men in those areas, but come on now, that again, I just want you to pay attention. Like what's happening here, right? Computers. Look how low our numbers get when it comes to computers. Low. Some low numbers, right? Architecture, low. Women, way low, right? Education. We gonna kill it there, right? Education, training, library, occupation. 688,000 Black women for library and training and education. Okay. Legal is always gonna be low. 36,000, 73,000. Okay. Healthcare practitioners. All right. Health, diagnosing, and treating practitioners and other technical operations. 100,000 for Black men and 452,000 for women. So I'm gonna tell you what I think some of that is: nursing and everything around it. Tech, like surgical techs, right? Surgical techs, all that stuff. Health technologists and technicians. Look how many women. The Black men stay real thin on that one. 82% of that is mostly women in that. 79% live at both sides. Mostly women are in the health sphere. Health sphere doing technicians jobs. I mean, it's crazy. Let's go on to service. Healthcare support operations service, 700,000 women. Now, what does that mean? Support operations, everything that supports anything in healthcare. So when we joke about all the Black women you don't want to be nurses, it kind of is. It's kind of true. Nurses and surgical techs and phlebotomists. Okay, now food preparation. I hate to say it, but we're equal there. We got 500,000 people all up in food, women and men. Building and ground cleaning and material maintenance operations, which means janitors. We got 500,000 men janitors and 362,000 women janitors. Got a lot of janitors and a lot of food service. Personal care and service occupations, 671,000 women. That's just the service right there that I spoke of. I want you to pay attention. The healthcare support occupations, women are doing 87% of it, and men are doing about 100. But these other ones, food prep, serving, ground cleaner, personal care, no, bad. That's low, and those are low-paying occupations. I mean, we can go on Glassdoor and go through all these, but I mean, just let's go there. Firefighting and prevention and other protective services include supervisors. Women are 33% there. That's crazy. Law enforcement, including supervisors, 158,000 and 84,000 women. Y'all, in one area we might need to represent, it'd be there. Now here is some encouragement to make me feel a little bit better, but not really, because I know office workers don't get paid a lot. Sales and related occupations, 600,000 men. Congratulations, men. 1 million Black women. But here's my problem with this. Sales and related occupations. Not everybody here getting big sales checks. Very sad. Office and administrative. Whew, almost 2 million Black women in there. That's crazy. I'm telling you, listen, I'm just telling you. So natural resources. So here's important. This is important. This is part of why they were pushing back so hard on us getting, let me make it bigger. Can y'all see better? Is this better? Let me know if this is better. Is this better, everybody? Put a 1 in the comments if this is better. What about this? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. I think this is better. Let me know if you need this to be bigger. Put a 1 in the comments if you need this to be bigger, or if this is better. I think this is better. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more bigger, because I don't want everybody to say, well, Ericka just pulling these numbers out of nowhere. No. I want to show you real numbers, because people out here telling you all kind of crazy mess, and I don't want you to be discouraged. That's not what I want you to come to my channel for, but I want you to see real numbers, because this really does get on my nerves. Okay. So anyway, so here we go. I'll try to make it as big as possible. This is about as big as I think I can get it. Yeah. Something they can go get. Yes, that's it. All right, so fishing, farming, and forestry. Only 24,000 black men and 8,000 women. And last time I checked, they have a lawsuit going on in Mississippi because they lost some jobs. Okay, so construction, this is very important. Construction and extraction occupations, 480,000 men, 22,000 women. That's so small, y'all. That's not enough. Installation, maintenance, and repair, 340,000. That's good, and 30,000 women. So one of the women I was talking about got a $150 million construction contract, but then she had to go fulfill it with. She was black in El Paso, Texas. Well, who could she fulfill it with? Nursing programs have a terrible, terrible bottleneck problem, and we've talked about it a lot on the channel, and I'll talk about it in a second. Now let's go on to the most important. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Production occupations. That means warehouse, manufacturing, making stuff. That's 760,000 men. That's still bad because manufacturing is leaving this country. Dr. Dix has come on here many a night and talked about it. 400,000 women's in that same field. Transportation. Okay, 200,000 black women and 823,000 black men. Okay, material moving occupations, 610,000 or 162,000. So these, to me, all go with the transportation, the railroad system, trucking, warehouses. You know what I mean? So you have people with some careers that make money, but a good thing somebody did say, and this is 2017. Okay, so a good thing someone said is about nursing. Well, here's the problem with nursing, right? Here. And we'll talk about business ownership again. These numbers always move around. So nursing, the problem with nursing is they had a long time, they had the affirmative action reserve you. Prime example, ECU got sued multiple times at this point. ECU had 122 spots. Well, they saved 22 spots for minorities and 100 for white people. Well, what ended up happening is every year they end up having like 100 to 300 black girls left over. And then the one year they didn't, they act like they were having a brain fart. They didn't know what to do. Now it's based off point of your grade. So let's say you got 100 black girls with a 4.0. They literally take the top 100. But that year, now you got to think Hispanic girls are sharing that 22%, and all other races are sharing that 22%, 22 spots. So that year, the school was like, we only have 80 white girls. Oh my God, we have to put 20 more minorities in here. No one ever said, hey y'all, we are 300 black students behind. Maybe we should just go off the top GPA and call it a day. Because they didn't do that, ECU got sued 4 different times. Because the girls would have to move around, find a new school to go to get in the nursing program, and then you have to appeal to nurses that are currently nursing to turn them into teachers. If you're a nurse making $92,000 a year, and then they say, baby, we really need you to come over here and teach at the school. Well, how much I'm going to get paid? $62K a year. If you're a woman nurse, can you afford to take a $30,000 deduction? Can you afford that? Right? All right. So again, talk about business creation, job creation. And the reason I'm going through all these is because a lot of times, right here, will it show up the pop up the big one? Let me see if it'll pop up the big one. It does. Okay. Black-owned businesses with employees, 2017 and 2012. Again, these our numbers are already a couple years behind because of the pandemic, right? You got healthcare and social services, professional technical services, right? There's only, let's go on down here to transportation, 7,000 companies owned by black people. That's it. Finance, only 4,000. Insurance, only 4,600. Real estate, only 3,000, right? Wholesale trade, manufacturing, information. Look at this. Mining, oil and gas, only 21 companies. Utilities, only 18 companies. Management of companies and enterprises, that's family offices, 186. So out of all the wealthiest blacks in the whole United States, only 186 family offices. Okay, I want you to understand that. Is everybody getting where we're at? All right. So again, job creation. Okay, if you're a white business owner, you create about 56 million jobs. You could employ about 39% of white working adults, enough to give each one of those adults $80,000 a year. If you're Asian, enough to create 4.7 million, enough to employ 38% of your population. You pay all those folks $65K a year. Right? The Hispanic, 2.9 million businesses. They can employ about 8% of their population, enough to give everybody 11,000 a year. Right? Not really great. Right? Black, 1.2 million jobs, only 5% of the population. Very small, very small. Right? So there's revenue in billions of dollars owned by black-owned people, black-owned employers. So that's some good numbers. But again, transportation's only, look how low transportation is, 4.8. The money's in healthcare and social services, retail trade, wholesale trade, technical services, admin, waste management, construction. Look at construction, $11 billion. Okay? Manufacturing, $9 million. Okay? Real estate and leasing, look way down there, $2 billion. Way down there. So again, you take all this with a grain of salt, study for your own self, make your own self, don't say I told you something and be mad about it or whatever. Let's see, housing. All right. Again, going down, down, down. Right? Barack Obama, Trump, all of it. It's going down. Right? So let's go. 14,000. Owner occupied is 41%. Renter, 58%. Right? Just review that on your own time. States with the high black home ownership. Top 10 is South Carolina. South Carolina's huge. Maryland, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, Virginia, Delaware, North Carolina. Put your hands up. Bottom 10%. Now let's give this a rule of thumb. Some of these people is Arizona, Rhode Island, New York, which is sad. New York ought to be high. Washington, Nevada, Nebraska, Hawaii, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa. Some of those places we ain't even in like that. And that data is from 2019. So a little bit better. I mean, there's so many ways we can go with this, but I'm gonna stop for now. The point of this video is, folks don't know real numbers. This is the point of this video. Folks don't know real numbers, right? And when they don't know real numbers, they can't make real decisions. They can't make real assessment. To say, oh girl, I need a six-figure man. It's much better to say I want a man with a work ethic than a six-figure man. I make high six figures, and I tell you right now, where do I meet people that are my equivalent? Very rare. I meet them at real estate events, conferences, golf classics. 90% of them are already married. 10% that aren't, they're on the up-and-coming arc. They're in mortgage loan officers. They're guys who own their own trucking companies, guys who own their own plumbing. I was just telling Tim Jackson on the phone that one of the guys that I was like, oh my God, here in Austin, is him and his brother used to work for a valet trash service. Well, they figured out the business, and then they created their own valet trash company, and then worked on getting contracts with multiple apartment complexes. Well, so yeah, him and his brother are extremely wealthy, but it's rare. It is not that common. And so a lot of people are talking about they are settling, and this is where Tone Talks is right. You're talking about settling, but you don't even have access or proximity to real money, right? We're doing a lot of looking online. We see people on Instagram living these pop and bottle lifestyles, but when I really sit out here and I'm like, how many of your friends own a house? Or if you want to be a real estate agent, like I took a photo of what the girl said last time, and this is not me picking on her because I think she's in the comments, but I'm just using it as reference. Like the young man I'm partnering with, that I'm working with, he literally, basically his wife was making the income 3 years ago. And he said, I want to take this job. Well, they have a house. She's making more income than him, like $70,000. He's making like 20 something, making phone calls. And then now within the approximate course of 3 years of him working really hard for this company, he had $140,000 commission check. And then now he's branching off and opening his own company because many of the people that work with that original company liked him and want to work with him. So a lot of people get mad with me when I tell you in our community, the number one thing our community needs to do, and majority of Americans, but specifically for Black people, we need about 1 million people to go up higher, right? When I mean 1 million, I mean 1 million people to be nurses, 1 million people to be home inspectors, home appraisers, actual careers that pay actual money. Not a bunch of people saying, I want to be a real estate agent. For what? For a group of folks that don't have money to buy a home? This is circle talk. It's crazy. So she basically said, and I'm Elizabeth Claire, if you're in the comments, I'm not picking on you, I'm just using it as an example. We need more people in real estate that look like us and can help us out. Like homeownerships are no better than they were before 1968. We're being gentrified out of most cities and alarming. Why are we being gentrified out of most cities? I'm here in Austin, Texas. This is a favorite trope of Black people. We're being gentrified out of the city. The only way you are being forced out of the city is if you do not own your home. If you own your home, your property taxes went up. Oh, Ericka, the property tax is up. That's fine. If you make good income, it does not matter. And also there's homestead acts, right? So a lot of people are trying to give you this narrative that if there were just more Black people who are real estate agents, we would be doing better. This is inaccurate. We need more people making $100K a year, period, and can own their home and keep their home. One of the biggest things me, when I lived off of Runberg Lane here in Austin, is the Black people that were my neighbors. I was like, man, they doing good. You know, your house is about 400,000 now, and this is 5 years ago. And they would be like, yeah, but where am I going? If I sell my house, where am I going? It's their number one asset. It is the thing that lets them call themselves middle class. Now, in my mind, I don't know who their children are, but I'd have been like, mom and dad, refinance this house and then go buy other investments. But again, most Americans are not thinking like that. They think I go to my job, I have enough money to buy a nice car, and then if I have enough money, then I'll buy a house. And that's backwards. If you pay attention to immigrants that come here to America, and I know we love saying, well, they're getting all this money from home America and people cutting them checks and sending them money. Listen to me. A majority of those people work 2-3 jobs, scrounge up their down payment, put their down payment on because after 2 years, they have a track record of 2 years of payroll, and then can buy stuff. It just is what it is. And as much as we want to say, well, they got somebody coming from home working with them. I worked in apartment management, and I would see we'd have let me tell you something. I don't watch Tone Talk. This is I want to be very clear and disclaimer for this channel. I do not agree with the negative direction of Tone Talk. I don't agree with it. This is the one video of his I agree with. If every day you tell me I'm poor, okay, what am I do about it? My point of my whole channel, the reason I came on YouTube is to do this, is to tell people, okay, here are all the options. Choose one. This is why when people argue with me about, well, how fast I'm going to make 10 to 20K, that's silly season. What you're saying is silly because you're not even making 3. So Leslie, no, don't want to hurt your feelings, but I don't actually listen to Tone Talk. I think it's very depressing. Or Yvette Carnell, because, you know, pro-Black with a white girlfriend living in your mom's basement is a little crazy, right? So, so there's this kind of this overarching negative talk and negative projection, and I don't subscribe to that, right? This is a math problem. Black people aren't doomed to poverty forever. What's up? I appreciate you. I don't know where you was at, but I appreciate you. So my whole thing is like, we're not doomed to poverty. We're in America. One good decision in 2 years of hard work can change your life. I'm a person that I literally worked in apartment management, delivered pizzas, and they'll be like, well, Ericka, you're a unicorn story. No, I'm a person who got an inheritance, wiped out the inheritance with the business, didn't know what I was doing, and came back, made money, took the money, invested the money. Like if I was even if in common sense, if I worked really hard here in Austin and bought an 80K house back in North Carolina, I could go peace out and go back to North Carolina and go sit in it. Right? That's when I first got to Texas. That was easy math for me. I kept seeing people after people would come to Austin, Texas, work really hard here in Austin, Texas, right? And then do the math and go, oh, I can go back home. I saw that often, a lot, a lot. Get the likes up. There's 218 people here. My OA split, and I had two. Congratulations. You dig what I'm saying? I think they do. I think that's part of what happens. Your mom's 47. I see a lot of old women in the hospital. But yeah, this is very much a trend. Geriatric pregnancies are on the rise. But why are they? Why are they on the rise? Because people are going to school, student loan debt, they stay out here longer and longer and longer, working to make money, and then they realize, oh, I'm getting old. It's time to wrap it up and go have a baby. That's what happens. They do the math. Oh, well, listen, if you work from 21 in college to 30 and realize I'm never going to make more than 40-something years, then it's time for me to do what? I'm going to just go ahead and have this baby. I'm seeing people do that. I'm seeing people do that. They are just choosing to go ahead on by the day. This is true. This is true. This is why I pointed this out. Do I need to share my screen again? Let me share it again. I'm agreeing with you. Like I'm agreeing with you guys. Like I'm not arguing with you. Like the income is low. The average person's income is very low. Hold on, let me pull it up. You go over here again. Go back to income one more time. I don't want nobody saying I'm making it up. Oh, you making these numbers up, Ericka? No. I got data to show it. But the reason I'm using Tone Talk as this reference is because he does a good quantitative job. I will not take that from him. I just think his views on it are very, very negative. Like, we're not doomed to poverty. You know what I'm saying? We're not doomed to be homeless. We're not doomed to be the worst. That's not true, right? We aren't doomed, right? And again, we'll go back in these numbers, okay? And occupations, right? Not just percentages. We're going to go all the way down, show you how many of us are truly, truly in these fields, right? So what? There's more ladies in the office doesn't mean, again, 76% of all working Americans make $30,500 a year. No, $30,500 a year or less. Period. So yes, I agree with you, Rhea. More men were into nursing. Again, they're going to reach the same problem. There's a backup in nursing. That's what I talked about. There's a backup in nursing. Right? Okay. So that Todd Mack, I'm not going to argue with you that. I know California imports about 20,000 Filipino nurses a year. It is what it is. Like if you look up the Filipino community, there is a lot. Yes, Elizabeth Claire, I did break that down. There is. Now, for one, I will say for medical, yes, we need more people that live with us every single day of the week. This is true, but you're seeing more and more articles of women doing what? Going in the labor fields because they don't have any other skills. Too many men are shying away to work. So Vampire, I don't know if you're doing this as a joke or not, but I'll just address it. All the classes I have Middleman to Million that teaches you how to start, how to schedule, how to book, and how to manage people in labor, right? Digital real estate course. Some of you are like, Ericka, I'm trying to leave my house. I'm trying to get this laptop and create content that helps people through products and services and consulting. Then digital real estate course is for you, right? Or if you're in my YouTube mastery class, same thing. I'm teaching you how to make income. So these are options, yes. So my master classes do actually help you get away from that. And I've been making six figures multiple years in a row. Trust me. You can actually Google my company. So anyway, many nursing schools are they're trying to, but again, what's the number one reason? If I'm a nurse making $92,000 a year and you say, hey, Ericka, baby, we need you over here at this nursing school. Don't you want a break because you got some kids? I'm like, yeah, sure. How much you gonna pay me? $62K. That's not enough. That's not enough for me to take time out of my life to come teach some new nurses. It's not enough. It's not enough. And they've tried the whole let's bring all these people from India in to backfill. It don't work either. It don't work. They've tried it. Yes, I will agree, Mojo, that people used to do that. But I remember in my family, my aunt used to send money to my grandma used to send money. This is before my time, but they were always saying that they had to send money up to New York because she was struggling up there. And then eventually they did move back south, or some of them moved to Philadelphia, and then some moved all the way back to North Carolina. So it went both ways. Trust me. Filipinos have Jacksonville, Virginia Beach, Queens, Jersey City, Chicago. There you go. I'm telling you, like, go look up anywhere Filipinos are in the medical industry. Huge numbers. A man with high value, worst exit versus fears. I'm just telling you, Michelle Green. The young man that I'm getting ready to work with 3 years ago he was making 20 something a year. His wife was making 70, and now he has $150,000 commission check. So, it paid off for her to be patient, and it also pays off when you're young. So, folks get mad at me in the level of community when I pointed out the flaw in their plan, mainly because vast number of these men are already married. This is the fact. Aaron Clary talks about this a lot, and it's spot on. If you are a young man, there's really not an incentive for you to buy a house. By yourself, there's no incentive. There isn't. It isn't there. You don't have to. It isn't there. There's no incentive. Why would I buy a house? It's just me. I'm going to live as cheaply as much as I want. So now you're coming across a community that has no people interested in buying houses. They're single longer. They take longer to get married. You have all these people advocating for people to get married when they're a 50-year-old man to a 20-something. Well, if you ain't got no house at 50, what does it matter? Like Tone Talk's been sounding the alarm for years. I don't call Tone Talk a hater. I'm not a hater of Tone Talk. I don't like it that you're saying, hey, we're poor and the government should give us reparations. Okay, what if the government doesn't do that? What are we going to do? They don't have a plan B. And if you tell them on that channel, what's the solution, they get mad. And I was one of those people 3 years ago saying, okay, Tone Talk, what's the solution? It can't be, well, the government has to give us reparations, Ericka. That's the only way. Okay, if they don't do it, what do we do until? What if they don't do it till you're 80 years old and your children are all grown? You have to be smart enough in this conversation to go, I'm going to go do three things. I'm either going to go get the highest paying job I can get. I'm going to go get a trade. That's why I keep telling y'all, all these men are going to go back to trades because it's just going to get so hard out here. And three, I'm going to go marry and buy a house. Now you're like, everybody's like, nobody's marrying Ericka. Y'all, the numbers will make so much crazy insanity, hyperinflation. They'll be living with their family, which they're already doing. And it's a math thing. It just makes sense. Because of my age, even if a six-figure dude has been married before, so that check is split separate ways. Thank you. See, people forget that part. When you meet a successful man and he done hit 40, 50, honey, other women thought he was successful. And they done had a baby with him. They was married to him. They got an alimony check coming. They got 2, 3, 4 kids. He didn't, if he's been successful for a long time with a track record, trust me, that check is going other places. Yep. My aunt's been a nurse forever. She's bored. She retired one time. She was so bored, she went back to be a nurse again. They kept paying her, we'll pay you more. We'll give you $10,000 sign-on bonus. She's like, okay. Telling you. This is why when all these young people are focusing on being a bunch of musicians, and they want to be YouTubers, let me tell you something. You better get your damn real skill. Because, see, people want to do goofy stuff on YouTube. They don't want to do long-term make money stuff on YouTube. And it's a difference. They're going to learn. 2021, 18% of California nurses were Filipino out of a population of 1.2 million. I'm telling you. Yep. Black people lived in the best real estate areas for 50 years and never did nothing with it. So I don't see nothing wrong with urban redevelopment. Yeesh. I'm going to leave that alone. Yeesh. Woo. Good gracious. No, the military base in the Philippines trains nurses and med tech. I believe that. Yep. That's my whole thing. I can't rock with we gotta get the reparations. And I mean, like, yeah, I want there a segment of black people to fight for that, for sure. Fight the good fight of faith. But at the end of the day, right now, what we need is about 1 million folks to go ahead and push it up and make 100K a year. And that don't just mean everybody start a business. That means a lot of us need some trade. That just is what it is. I know people who have land down south that can build on, yet they're struggling in the city. So film code, this is a very important thing you just said. Read that again. I know people who have land down south that they can build on, yet they're struggling in the city. Who is the #1 biggest landowners in Mississippi right now? Put it in the comments. Who is the biggest landowners in Mississippi right now? Put it in the comments. Don't blow y'all mind. Who is the biggest owners of land in Mississippi today? Right now, as we speak. Y'all been watching me too long. Y'all been watching me too long. That's right, Chicago. Black folks from Chicago, the #1 people who own land in Mississippi, inherited or otherwise, are in Chicago, Illinois, where there is 50% black male unemployment. Now, I'm not saying everybody and their mom moved down to Mississippi. Nope. PMP is black Chicago descendants. I'm not saying everybody black who's in Chicago is having a hard life and should move down to Mississippi. That's not what I'm saying. But they are the #1 inherited acres of land, hundreds of acres of land. My grandpa has land in Mississippi and Alabama, and he's 87. What am I gonna do with it? I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: girl ain't gonna struggle out here. Gonna go somewhere else. He said Jackson, Mississippi is Chirac Part 2. I mean, really. I mean, at the end of the year. So, yeah, that's my whole thing. When I hear 50% black unemployment in Chicago, why? Leave there. But again, people are like, well, I'm not leaving. Okay, well, then we're going to do some internet business. We're going to do online. We're going to get remote tech work. What we going to do? The equity out of their homes? Even when people can pull the equity out of their homes. Where? And do what with it? Buy cars? I mean, I'm going to tell you right now what happened down south. When they paid people miniature reparations for losing their farmland, like the grandparent had a farm and they lost it, they gave everybody these $50,000 checks. And guess what? They made a joke of it down south. All these people ran out and bought Cadillacs. Wasn't a lot of people buying houses, just a lot of people buying Cadillacs and stupid crap. So again, it doesn't, I'm just going to tell you like that. 25% of primary care doctors are foreign trained. Yeah, I believe it. Pay me money so I can tell you how poor our people is and say it ain't your fault. I mean, is there so much? I don't know how else to explain it to you. This is why I don't rock with it. I don't rock with it. I can't. Like how many times do you have to watch that and agree with it and don't do nothing about your situation? It's disgusting. For me, it's disgusting because it's like I'm gonna put it to equivalent to losing weight because that's my struggle, right? Everybody's got their own struggle, carry your own cross. If I sit here and tell you, hey, you don't have to weigh this much. You can do this. Oh man, I can't do it. The white man got me down. Right? The food desert. Like all these other things. That's what I equivalent to. I'm gonna watch Tone Talk. He told me I'm poor because my grandpa was poor, or this person was poor. I'm not one of those families. My grandpa owned a juke joint and a farm, a juke joint and a farm. My grandma inherited a bunch of land. She was married 6 times. All her husbands died. My grandma won't killing them, but some of them didn't die. I tell people all the time, like, it's hard to explain. My grandma won't killing them, but sometimes back in the day, black men just fell out and had a heart attack. And stuff happens, right? So she had land. She gave my aunt land. To this day, some of them don't do nothing with it. And literally look at me like, well, Ericka, you got all this money. What you gonna help us do? Grandma left me something. You still ain't did nothing with it. So it's not just about inheritance. It's really this perspective that we all are just extremely poor and demands on our neck, and we can't ever do better. That's insane. We can do better in weight, in food, in life, in money. Any of these things are all choices. And to blame it on America, boy, that's wore me out. That wear me out. So I just can't rock with it. I can't rock with it. We need to do R&D, rip off and duplicate, have a plan to leave, don't just work. Listen, if you know my story, what was my story? When I worked in, and thank you for this, you did a super chat twice. Thank you for $10 twice, Fallout. When I worked in apartment management, what happened? I was sitting there telling them what they need to do with the painters. They didn't listen to me. So guess what? I called my friend. I said, we got to start a painting company. I sat down with the dude for lunch. He showed me how to do it. We went out. That year, made money. Made money. I was sitting there giving referrals for apartment management to people. Cut that out. Cut that out. That is part of why I made middleman the million. I'm literally telling you what I did for 2 years with my friend. We just got bored. He went to do fencing and more real estate. Literally, we just responded when others would not respond. We had a home advisor, we had certain things, and we would just respond when guys would not respond. People would be like, oh my God, thank you for responding. Oh, nobody's ever called me back. And it'd be an old lead. It'd be like a lead from 3 weeks ago. And we would call them. They're like, nobody called us back. And we're like, well, ma'am, that's how much we're going to do it for. So really, when I put together the Middleman to Millions class, I know at any given time, if you can find 1 or 2 guys that will paint or do fence work, if you can find the jobs and get paid for them, honey, you can pay them. It's just not as hard as y'all making it to be. But yes, Fallout, you're right. Derek, thank you, Derek White. Get the likes up, folks. Yes, there are grants under Build American Build that are geared towards blacks, but it ain't as good as Donald Trump's $500 million black plan. It just ain't, baby. It just ain't, okay? How are people living off 30,000? They just are. They just choosing to live off that. So here's the thing. Diamond Dave said something that was super, super important. This is below my standard, right? This goes in line with Tone Talks too. This man or woman is below my standard. No, they're not. No, they're not. That is your standard. You just are confused on what your standard is. If your standard was I have to be 6-pack abs going, whatever, you would change your life. You change how you act, how you eat, how you do everything. If you said, hey, I can't live on 30,000 a year, you would immediately change your standards. Whatever it took for you to get there. I see in the comments every time, well, Ericka, everybody isn't motivated by money. If eating and living well is not a motivator for you, I don't know what can be. If seeing your child go to subprime school and live and have subprime credit and have pay crazy interest rates on cars and credit cards, if that don't motivate you to change, ain't nothing I can do. There ain't nothing I can do for you. That's the thing. Listen, that's a lie. Where in America can you be a big middle class at 40K a year? Where? Tell me a city. Tell me a city where you make 40K a year, you are middle class. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. Grace Rollins, I'm 56 and my 18-year-old just entered college. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing with the audience. I hope you talk with them. Don't let them go into a bunch of debt. If you're in there, tell them to go to the financial aid office and go apply in the index. The index, every school has one. Financial aid office is called the index. It has every single scholarship ever made available to the school. But I get what you're saying. You 56 with an 18-year-old. I hear you. Wink, wink. Okay, girl. I feel you. Do what you do. Have that baby at 40. Do what you do. I'm be careful on that. Be careful on that. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Nurse instructor pay is whack, yeah. Solid Steps to Wealth, you guys. It pays to be in trades. That's why I'm going to start bringing Solid Steps to Wealth on to the channel. I'm going to start bringing them on for consistently. Just like I bring on the Tech Tuesday Tech Talk. Tech Tuesday Talks, I'm going to start bringing her on because I want y'all to understand you're going to see a massive return to men learning how to fix things. We're in a fourth turning. I don't want to go too deep into it tonight, but go Google fourth turning. Look at America. Look at the infrastructure bill. There's over 300 bridges in North Carolina that got an F and D rating. We don't even have enough people to fix them. And that's just North Carolina. We're not even talking about all these other states. Everywhere you go on I-35 and down the road, they doing construction all day, all night. We don't have enough people in those jobs. Now, first thing people say, well, they don't pay well, and my back, and my neck, and my whatever. Okay, let me tell you right now, a lot of these men who want to be in air conditioned with lotioned hands, they gonna get a rude awakening. This is why when I talk about winter's coming, it's coming for everybody. The black people who are living in grandma's house right now, and grandma passed away, or their mom passed away, I know people right now who their parent has a house. Both parents passed away just a little bit earlier than most age for black people, and now their sons are fighting who can go move into this house because none of the sons have a house. If you really think that, oh yeah, it's gonna be all good, no, there are men who it's about to be winter for them. You got 3 brothers in their mid-30s. Some of them are older than me. They went to school and got out of school before me. The only one got it together is their sister, and she's married to a white man who's a trucker, a truck driver. She met him while she was in the military, and they got their own house and they doing just fine. Guess who the parents left the house to? They left it to the sister, but the brothers are telling the sister, we need somewhere to live. Now they got children and everything. Some of them got children, some of them got children, 2, 3, and they're like, we need somewhere to live. We got to live at mom and dad's house. And people are telling that sister, just sell the house and give them money. But where are they going to go? These are 35 to 37-year-old black men who are making $30K a year in North Carolina, where it's already cheap to live. I am telling you, when people talk about this winter, women going to get this winter. I agree with you. I agree with Tone Talk. If you're a woman and you've been single 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, sister, you're looking for sourdough. And at the store is only white or wheat. So you got to really just, get honest with yourself. I'm not saying date losers or date bums or date people going to beat you up. I didn't say that. But you got to be really honest because you don't know what the real numbers are. Ain't nobody out here making that kind of money. A lot of people aren't. Right? A lot of times you see young people that get married young and then they can make career decisions to make more money, but it's after they've been married a while and they can kind of bounce off each other. This is true. Michelle Green, I know that. I mean, we all know it. It's all good. Don't mean we don't still owe it, but it's still owed to us, but still. Congratulations. Listen, keep on going. So what you call it, going to wound care. Good Lord. It's a lot of money out here. Somebody said medical social work, 95. Listen, okay. 95,000 a year. ER pays you a lot too, but you'll burn out. Listen, I'm telling you, it's a much better life to be off the gram and be rich than be on the gram. I'm gonna tell you now. I know, and it's very hard to translate that to people because 100K as an employee versus a business owner is just different, and it's hard for me to break it down to y'all. It's very hard. Terry X. It's not, but they got to get there first to realize it's not a lot of money. No, I never said it wasn't killing us. I never said that. But 95% of what I see people doing is they're killing themselves. And that's food, and that's liquor, and that's activities. When I said in the video that Young Dolph shouldn't have been, Young Dolph was literally, people were on Instagram showing where he was at the gas station pumping gas. Not even an hour before he got shot. You were a famous person in your town getting gas on the hood side of town in your Lambo. Why? Running around and you're putting yourself a target in the middle of people who are starving. Say what you will, Memphis has been rough forever. I don't care what they say, right? They've had 5 different groups of white people come in there and buy 1,000 units of homes. 2, 3 years later, just sell them all to somebody else and get rid of them. I've seen this happen. Go look at Invest Memphis. Memphis Invest, their sons have now invested a lot of their money in Houston and Dallas. Their papa has 1,000 homes in Memphis. And every couple of years, they rotate out owners. Trust me. Is my mic too loud? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I apologize. Turn the volume down. I apologize. Traveling nurses make a lot of money. Medical, thank you for the super chat. Medical, social workers for you. Look at you. I just hit 95 after 2 years, and most states pay for the program. All right, everybody, pay attention. Hey, listen, John, I'm telling you, people be dying. I don't know what happened, but I was like, Grandma, what had happened? I need to know. There's a lot of husbands here. Wound care. I wonder when a plumber makes 80K a year. Yep. hmm Until the internet, I didn't know people had such hard lives. My grandparents had three houses. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. When people really show me these like extreme terribleness, I'd be like, "Don't you got a whole cell phone in your hand? Why are you on YouTube watching crap and not how to make 50K a year so you can get out of this situation?" But that's the nature of people. They wait till it's a dire emergency, right? 90% of the time, when I see people go in the truck and they like, I was about to lose my apartment. I was about to be homeless. So I just went to the trucking school. And you're like, why'd you wait so long? Why? Why'd you wait till the extreme emergency? But that's the nature of people, right? There isn't. There is not. There you go. Tone Talk conveniently is out the stat that 70% of wealth is squandered by the second generation and 90% is squandered third generation. So let me even give it to you this way, right? Um, the average inheritance, no matter the size, they've been studying this for 100 years, is squandered in 9 months. Let me say that again. The average inheritance, no matter the size, is squandered in 9 months. There was this young man in Baltimore. Forgive me if you're watching this. I hope your mom, is passed healthy. I don't know. I'm not certain. But he was saying his mother was on dying. She was going to leave him this huge amount of money. And I literally told him, do nothing. Just take a minute to get therapy and breathe for 6 months because you will run through that money so fast it'll be gone before you know it. And then think about investing because it's this amazing stress on your neck of like, I've got to make this money, make a bunch of money. My mom will want me to flip this money. It, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. And so a lot of times the inheritance, we're not even in our right mind when we get it. My grandmother and my father died 6 months of each other. I wasn't even in my right mind. Like I had to take a year off school because I literally failed, and they gave me a break because I worked for the financial aid office. They're like, "Hey, girl, what's going on?" I wasn't even in my right mind. I wasn't even going to school. Like I was just in class, zoned out. So you're not even in your right mind when your parent passes. So for somebody to be like, "Well, they got inheritance, they should use it right." That's just not it. That's not how it works. It's not it. It's not how it works. That's what I'm saying. On 40K, said name a city where you can make it on 40K is where people actually want to live. That part. That part. Yep. Military. Sometimes the military can be the best decision of your life. And like the guy that was my Uber driver the other day, he did the military for 20 years. He lived in Germany for 7 years. Then he came out and worked for the state of Texas for 20 more years. Then he was like, I can't wait to go home. And then he got home and he was like, I'm bored as hell. He said, I tried to do stuff for the VE, I don't know what it's called, VA or the VES or something. And then he started Uber and he was like, I just don't even know what to do. I'm bored. I'm like, sorry. I moved from San Diego to Lexington, Kentucky, house build. Yep. There you go. There you go. New GI Bill can be worth 250K. Inflation is not just the only thing destroying us. Low pay, working low pay jobs is not gonna work. I mean, I really help Wealth and Growth. I feel bad for their sister because she's closer to my brother's age, so she's like 10 years older. But literally, her life, the only difference in her life is she is married to a white man that's a truck driver. She ain't even married to like some rich man. He's just a truck driver. So he do make 100K a year. He drive on the road. But literally, her three siblings are doing horribly and are mad with her. So it's like, what can she do? I mean, everybody told her to sell, but good luck. I'm telling you, Kathy Fields, what you're going to see is the rise of men returning to labor. They're going to be out here. They can't get the tech jobs because you have the Indian community going to have it on lock. They're not going to be able to get up in medical school. Certain communities going to have that on lock. And then the last thing that they're going to be like, well, let me get a trade. There's a young man right now here in Austin. He went to nursing school, dropped out in the last part of the nursing school, and then now is a mechanic here in Austin, Texas. Like he moved all the way back to Kansas, hated it, came back to Austin, was like, well, I could be a mechanic and make a lot of money in Austin. He's been doing that since 2018. So you're gonna see a lot of men go, well, I tried this, it didn't work. I'm gonna be in trade. Out of my 13 of my siblings, good gracious, Xanatos Clutch, who is firing out babies like that? Out of all my 13, my siblings and cousins, including me, 4 of us are not living under family nor off Section 8. And 3 out of the 4, including ourselves, moved away from where we grew up. Good gracious, that's a lot of people. Good googly moogly. I'm gonna tell you what our family did. They did not believe in sending boys to college fresh out the gate. They made every single boy in our family, except for one, because he's a soft ass. He's just so soft. They made every single boy in our family go join the military first. And he said, when you're done with your GI Bill, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can go any school you want to. But after all the strongest recommend you buy a house. And it's worked. Every single boy has had a successful. I had cousins when I was in my 6th year of college. I had boy cousins come out, buy a house, and had a brand new car and was getting GI Bill every month that were younger than me. So I'm just telling you like that. That's the best way I can say. Even when I moved to Austin, I had boy cousins just finishing up their 4th, 6th year, traveling the world, being in Spain, being in other countries, being in Italy, then come back to the Carolinas, go to school for basically free, have a nice apartment. Trust me. Trust me. I mean, this happens, right? This happens. You're going to see a lot of blue collar returns. The men I meet that are in their late 30s that retired out of the military, now they're on their second thing. They are so much relaxed. They're so relaxed, it's crazy. It is. It's best to stay low. Go on travel. Do what you do. You can. You can work for the military, DOT, or federal employee. Yep. Shaq don't even spend his money um, from his original base basketball earnings. Shaq owns so much stuff. It's just crazy. He's gonna be a billionaire. I'm not in dire straits, but I'm prepared to pivot into tech. Like I'm literally documenting myself taking these tech trainings to get these certificates just to show y'all how hard it is because I think it's important for me to show y'all. And then two, also just one of those things to have on my LinkedIn, just to be stunting on the ground. I retired from the military 5 years ago, Army, and from that day I got out, I did not miss a check. I received 3 checks sitting on my behind. Now I invest. However, my family is envious of me. It's all choices. It's all choices. Ooh, sister has 13. Good gracious. No limit. We do a whole show on Tech Tuesday. Go watch it on all the playlists. I only have 2 siblings. Okay, I'm about to say Xantos Plus. Who is having them babies? The other 9 in the example are cousins. Okay, I was about to say, good gracious. Sit down. Don't have another baby. Don't have another. Think about all your So Floyd, here's the thing about the military. If you stand up everybody in line, you shave all their heads and put them all in the same uniform, how can you tell who came out of poverty and who did not in the military? If everybody was standing in front of you, they all had their head shaved, they all have the same uniform on, how can you tell who came from poverty and who did not? Put it in the comments. I'm going to take 30 seconds for y'all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you put all the people in the military line, you stand them up, you put them shave their head, you put them all in the same outfit, how can you tell who came from poverty and who did not? I'm gonna put this in there as my last thing. I'm gonna roll out. Teeth, 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 teeth. Go look up military videos on teeth. Go look up, like literally, they'll literally have to pull 3, 4, 5 teeth out of people's mouths when they join the military. They literally have to go and pull teeth. The teeth will be rotten. They'll be 18 years old with rotten teeth. No one took care of them. No one did them right. No one straightened their teeth. They got to put orders in for them to have braces. Teeth. That's the only difference in eye care. I know eye care is one of them, but really it's teeth. You line them all up in the line. You'll look at it. People who had to leave or take a day off or have to be on medication because they had to get their teeth pulled. Teeth. People think it's, oh, here's all this. No, it's teeth. I know you're funny how they spend their bonus. Yeah. I'm 40, living with my mother and brother. I've killed myself working in warehouses all my adult life just to make 22. You can do something different. Don't worry. There's other options available for it. But yeah, their teeth. This is something the military's been having a lot of problems with people tearing up ankles, tearing up knees. So now they got to pay these people for like the next how many every year is 20% disability. It's very common. This is true. This is true, but it's teeth. A lot of times it's teeth. That's how they know. That's right. Crybabies, they ain't never be able to do nothing. But yeah, that's what I have. So that's all I have for you guys. But yeah, if nothing else, fix your teeth. My aunt who was in the military, she wasn't in the military, she was a military dentist. And that's how she met her second husband. And she married him for 40 years before he passed away. He was older than her. So I'm just telling you, like, what you think is something easy, a lot of people, parents didn't even take them to the dentist as children. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka from Class Clown Blog. This is one of the rare occasions I have to agree with Tone Talks. He's 100% right. A lot of these women and men talking about settling down are delusional because they don't know real math and they don't know the economy. A lot of folks ain't got it. They just don't really have it. They have some car debt and some student loan debt, but they ain't got much else. So they will. Terry's right. Smart businessmen will thrive. People who get skills and trades will thrive. All right, guys, this is your girl Ericka from the Classic Line Blog. Have a wonderful evening. Later, y'all.